Today I'm doing an experiment with different cylinders and inner barrels and springs, and the reason is that I'm building my E&L AK to be as powerful as possible in terms of meters per second and joules, and also be reasonably reliable and basically get the best middle ground of the highest spring possible without hurting the motor. So if the highest spring makes more power, then I'll keep it. If not, then I'll not keep it, and so on. And I thought that this will be helpful for you to see, because there are not that many videos for long inner barrels. They're mostly for like below 400. And today I have 455, the standard AK length, 601. We have 550. This is a Prometheus inner barrel, 603. And we have a standard 608 brass one. And now what we're going to do here is we're going to swap these three and see what's the difference there. And on top of that, we're going to try three different cylinders. So this one here currently is a bore-up cylinder. That means that, if you don't know, the walls are thinner so that there's more volume inside, which means that you can compress more air, and that way for longer barrels you get more power, theoretically. We have a standard full cylinder, and we have this one. This one has ports in it. It's usually for shorter cylinders, but I'm going to show you what's the differences on longer ones as well. And spoiler alert, actually, this one doesn't do well on this. I already tested it, and it's quite a bit less power than the others, but I'm going to keep it as well. I'm going to show you the results on it as well. And on top of that, I have three springs. Here inside it's an M120. This spring is between M150 and M180, 90, but I'm not exactly sure. I apologize for that. But the important thing is that it's a stiffer spring than the M120. And finally, this is the M210. This is the stiffest spring that you can get. It's from Prometheus as well. And we're gonna try to see those three springs, how they compare with those three different cylinders and with these three different inner barrels. That's gonna be a lot of data and a lot of disassembly, but hey, it's for science, right? The gearbox is Retro Arms V3. These two are identical hop-up units. They are Retro Arms as well. Motors, both are warheads. They're both good for the job. They can pull up to M210 spring, no problem. Gears are 100 to 300, so very torquey gears, very short gears. What else do you want to know? There's a MOSFET inside. And this is a cylinder head that I will be using for these ones, these cylinders. It's too small for this one. This one here inside has these small silencers on the end, so just so you know. I'm gonna be using 0.2 gram BBs as well. And I think that's it. By the way, this is what I use for my booking. Maple Leaf Super Macaron. Mine is the pink one, 75 degrees. By the way, if you were wondering, here's what a bore-up cylinder looks. As you can see, the one on the left is a bore-up, and it's much thinner on the walls. The outer diameter is the same, so because it's thinner on the inside, that means that there's more air volume. The bore-up cylinders, because they're bigger, they require special head, which is also bigger, and a special piston head. Well, oh, here it is. it looks the same, but it's a tiny bit bigger. And yeah, as you can see, compression is on point, although as you can see the first centimeter is a little bit, there's no pressure there, which in theory means that we lose a few millimeters of space, and in comparison this one is perfectly sealed from the very beginning, which basically what it does in reality is that the space that we gained from the bore up cylinder we lost because we catch the compression later on. But I'm gonna see if that's the case. And if that's the case, then this will still work, but I just need to fix my compression. And to fix that I need a different O-ring, but currently I don't have others that big, so I can only use this one. But yeah, that's for a future video. For now, let's continue testing. Okay, all the tests are done with the brass barrel full size, and now it's time to cut. There we go. Now I need to polish it a little bit here, because as you can see it's quite rough. And we're gonna go shoot. Okay guys, excuse for the mess, but here are the numbers that I ran. I haven't ran all of them because, well, basically there was no point, because these numbers are more than enough. For example, for the ported cylinder, there's no point in running all of these because, well, you can clearly see from the data that it is it's just not enough air. Basically, the ported cylinder is for shorter barrels, shorter than 455 for sure. And as you can see, even 360 was a little bit struggling. As you can see, ported between full is not, enough. Now, the other thing that was wrong during my runs was the bore-up cylinder didn't have good enough CO, so I reassembled it and I ran it again, and as you can see, there was quite substantial increase in power there. So yeah, so you can have a look at the numbers, but if I have to summarize for you, basically the 455 performed the best. So the length that is designed for the AK performed the best. What do you know? Of course, the 601, the 608, as you can see, it is marginally worse, and it gets worse on higher springs. The reason for that is, well, basically what happens with wider barrels is that the air can pass through, I mean not through, but next to the BB, right? And basically you lose energy. With the 601, you don't lose it because there's a vacuum, there's a perfect seal. I've tried like putting a BB inside the inner barrel and blowing into it, and there was basically no air loss. So yeah, pretty tight. So yeah, that's for that. The 550 barrel, the Prometheus one, as you can see here on the M120 spring, the results are quite similar, almost. Here I ran that on the old cylinder, that's why the result is lower. As you can see here, it was also lower, but it did improve after I changed it, but I just forgot to run it here, so yeah, don't believe that number. It should be probably exactly the same as this one. But then you can clearly see that more air equals more better for the longer barrel, because adding more air drastically increases the power. And that leads to the next spring, M150, which honestly I don't think that this was M150, because if we compare it to this one, you can see that there's not a lot of improvement. I mean, there is, as you can see, around 10 meters here, few meters here as well, but you know, I'll keep looking into this one. I have ordered different pistons and piston head because, well, from what I read online, the stronger springs need a little bit of heavier piston and piston head in order to accelerate properly. So I'll test that as well, but this one maybe, I think it's 170 or something. Sorry about that, but I just don't remember what spring that was. But yeah, these are the numbers for the 20.2 gram BBs. And here below I've done some tests for 0.32 grams, which is what I'm going to be using for my AKs. So here 455, 608, M150, M210 and so on. As you can see, we even lost power here for some reason. And then the 360 with M210 as well. As you can see here, we gained power by going short, which basically means that for stiffer springs and higher BBs, especially for higher BBs, you need more air. And as you can see here, we definitely got an improvement. That's with the full cylinder. Now with the ported, of course, You can check the numbers if you can read. Sorry about my ugly writing, but yeah, not that good at all. We don't even, I don't even wanna discuss that. But here's the numbers, and the 550. This is with a bore up. These are the numbers, and then the reruns basically after I fixed the cylinder. So yeah, you can see that we do get some improvement here. So 151 meters per second versus 145, and here that's the 603 versus 601. And as you can see here, with the bore up cylinder with the high spring, as you can see, we get a better result with a 550 millimeter compared to this one. So that's good because I am using heavier BBs either way. So as you can see, the lengthier one is a little bit better. The what's that? That's the M1. That's the M150 spring, and as you can see, M150 actually is a little bit worse on the 550 inner barrel. Although I think this one is more like 142 or something, because after that I ran a few more tests and it was a little bit better. So maybe I didn't record the proper average here, but it is slightly worse, or if not that, it's around the same. So looks like the combination of stronger spring and a lengthier barrel with the heavier BBs is a little bit better. So yeah, that's all the data that I got. And now about my decision and what I decided to go with. Well, judging by the suppressor, maybe you can guess, I went with the 550 millimeter. And the reason I did that is because I wanted to test the accuracy as well, because for the 455 I know the accuracy. It is currently it's on the middle M150 spring, because as you can see, there's not much point stressing out the gearbox additionally just for a few meters per second. At least for now, if I manage to squeeze more power out of that, I'll definitely use the M210. So yeah, you can say that currently I'm at this stage, but I keep running tests and I get like as I said, 142 or something. So that's the current stage of the AK. And as far as accuracy, it's incredible. I'm able to hit cans slightly bigger than this one from 50 meter range. So as you can expect, that's quite a lot. Basically I'm not having hard time seeing them, but it's difficult to aim because your hand is moving and so on. So yeah, it's at this point it's more of a me not being stable enough to aim as opposed to the AK. So yeah, it's very consistent as well. If there's no wind, basically every shot will be there, so quite good as well. And what I plan to do is I'm going to search. I already found one 550mm 601. I'm gonna order that and I'm gonna put it, and I'm gonna see if the accuracy is remaining the same and if the power is increased, and if it is, I'm just going to stick to that one. But I definitely like the lengthier barrel in terms of accuracy, so I'll probably keep that as well. After all, this is going to consider to be DMR, although I'm not playing in the airsoft field, but that's the DMR, right? Very accurate, very powerful, long range, although I have full auto, but that's another topic. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'll definitely create another very short video if I get the new inner barrel to update with that one. But that being said, hopefully this was helpful. I'll see you next time. And there it is, guys, the final build. As I said, I ended up with the Prometheus barrel. I added a simple suppressor here, and with my 3D printer I added this small plastic piece so that it fits nice and tight. There's no wobbly. Also, there's one plastic piece inside, which I'm gonna show you in a second, that keeps the barrel in place. So yeah, I think first of all it looks good, and it's also very accurate on like 50-meter range. It's incredible how accurate this thing is.